Colorado's good. Colorado's team is good. I'd say Texas went in there and they won that game. I wouldn't say Bama just lost. Brock Purdy is legit. He's legit. Plain and simple. Oklahoma is legit, folks. Boomer Sooner. They might be here to stay. The Chargers, right? They got all the pieces, but they're not moving the right ways. I don't know. They have all those big names, and they can't stop a parked car. He looked like dog shit out there yesterday. He's the reason we lost our coins. Josh Allen's trying to do too much. He got too cute. He really did. He got too cute. It is Russell Wilson and the Broncos. Guys, why were we acting this offseason like they were just going to be good after what we saw last year? What was going to change? All their receivers are hurt. Anyways, Russell Wilson's more worried about, what his next PR move is and, signing babies and shaking hands than he is, being a leader of his team. He doesn't even give out his phone number to his teammates. The guy's a bot.
Damn, brand new bag for bro, but I didn't pay for it. I don't like spending that cash because I'm trying to savor it.
What's going on, chat? Happy BTL Tuesday, episode 321 piece. As always, joined by your two hosts, Krabs and Javon, presented by Props.Cash. If you guys aren't using Props.Cash to craft up second half entries on PrizePicks, you're behind the eight ball. Plain and simple. Go check it out if you're using PrizePicks. By far the best app out there that compares with it and gives you great reads to make some coins on PrizePicks. Go use our promo code BOOKIT for $20 off your first month. Okay, folks, 25% off. How about that? Even better, Javon.
Yeah, huge. Yeah, 100% get in the lab.
Take that deal 9 times out of 10. Sure.
Maybe 10.
Chat, we've got a lot to go over today. All right, later episode, we're in the elite time slot here, folks. We've got the Search Stream time slot, Javon. A lot of baseball to talk about today. No football today. We need Maction like we need air, but we're not there yet. As we get Fat Girls Inc. dropping a 10-burger, hold the fry, getting it started right. I mean, carrying the momentum from yesterday, folks. Are you kidding me? I think we had 100 sub bangs yesterday.
Yeah, it was a massive day. We love
I think we literally had 100. Nuts.
Crazy.
Okay, Fat Girls Inc. W's. That's what I'm talking about. And yeah, we do have a banner on the bottom that we're going to roll so you guys can see our best bets the entire show. W's and W Fat Girls Inc. and W Goose running the show. Okay.
Yeah.
Javon, let's go over recaps from yesterday. I hope you guys all watched Night Sweats with us last night. Pretty electric. Did cash the squad rides. Don't tease through 0. I don't give a hoot. That's a winner. That was the easiest bet of all time. The Eagles were never losing that game. And we got the under 50.5 as well. Javon, great call with that under. You also smacked that as a straight bet. That's what I'm talking about.
W
Sure. 2 for 3.
Left, man.
What'd you say?
Kish and Crab should have swept. He should have. That's actually
Coulda.
so.
And we're going to talk about that. Don't you worry. Javon, no Godwin, 5 catches. How many did he end with? Do you know?
3 or 4. Which, I mean, this was not that it would have mattered because I would have switched it out for Kate Otten. But once I saw the Bradbury news, I knew we were caked.
Knew we were caked, folks. 1,000%. At least we cashed the squad ride. Hope you guys tailed. I hope you guys tail the squad ride every single day responsibly for a unit. If you don't, you're not making coins, or at least as many as you could be. All right, folks. W vote yesterday on the squad rides. It was always the 2-teamer dreamer tease piece.
People
All
forget
right, W's.
Also Baker pick, which was right there at the end.
Baker pick. That was electric, Javon. You know I cashed that 3-piece flexer that we talked about on the phone. That shit cashed. Thank God I flexed it. And that sack square you took as well, the 0.75 sacks, that was air as well.
That was picture perfect. They combined for a sack. That was funny.
Yep, 100%. Yo, Krabs, y'all should do a school stream one day where you go through all the ins and outs of sports betting, from how to read certain things like the numbers and stuff. I know plenty about betting, but I would like to know some things that I don't know about and how to read movements and stuff like that. Harris wants to learn. Harris wants to be taking a class. If that's something you guys would be interested in, we'd be more than down on one of these days coming up where it's pretty much just baseball on a Tuesday or Wednesday before action, and we could kind of go over our recipes for crafting up winners. I don't know if that's something everybody would want. If it's not, let us know in chat. We could always do that in a spaces or a separate stream as well, but we'll be more than happy to do that. And yeah, let's recap Shelly's knowledge about music last night. That was concerning, but you know what? We're just going to let it go.
Yeah,
let it go.
You had to be there. You had to be there in Night Sweats for that one. That was tough to be there for.
100%. Yeah, I think Javon actually got up and left at one point during that.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about Cactus Jack, the album with Quavo, and he thought it was Pop Smoke.
That's where I draw the line, because that's one of the most underrated albums of all time. Huncho, Jack, Huncho, Quavo, Travis Scott. My goodness, I just don't get it. I don't get it. But you know what? The brights were lights. We'll give him a pass. And I'm pretty sure he cashed at least one of the 2 plays for the primetime climb last night, folks. Let's go ahead and power through these W recaps so we can get to the action. I know you guys want some winners for today. The PrizePicks entries we crafted up. We had a lot of good squares yesterday, but no dice on smacking an entry. Went 2 for 3. Kate Otten, he had a pretty bad drop early in the game and really didn't get the rock after that.
Yeah, two bad ones, man.
Golly.
Yeah, blacklisted after that. That hurt.
Yeah, he wasn't getting the rock anymore. Pega, how you doing, brother? Hope you're doing well in chat. But this 3-piece did not smack, although Carter Cox sack and Baker pick were free. And then the B team, we'll show it. It wasn't pretty. 99 for this full faded. Most best. Get that off my screen. Get that out of here. Dudes, get that away from me. I don't want to see it anymore. Let's talk about Mike Evans. There's some more piss, but wait, there's more. Guys, this one stung. Not going to lie to you. Did get the coins back, and we'll talk about that in a moment. But Mike Evans getting 5 catches, looked like an insanely great wager at halftime. He had 2. Honestly, in the first quarter, he was kind of getting targeted to get him out. Second quarter, not much at all. I was feeling pretty good going into the half. And then the third quarter as well. I'm pretty sure he was still at 2 catches through the thirds. Maybe he had one in there that I missed, but I'm pretty sure he only had 2 going through the third and into the fourth in that last garbage time drive, Javon, where he had 3 catches, including this one that I'm still trying to figure out how he ended up with it. Unbelievable play. Unbelievable by Mike Evans. You're telling me he's catching that, Javon, and he's not catching, the touchdown pass in the corner that he had, or, the 2 other drops he had? What are we doing?
Wild.
Oh, what
You
a
might have to
catch,
run it
man.
back next week though, because he's going up against his father.
Marshawn
Yeah.
Lattimore. Ooh,
Yep.
that's huge for the season-long Meg. Mike Evans. We need him to get his less yards, not less yards. Try saying that 2 times fast as possible for the Megalodon, because that's the only one right now I'm kind of sketched about. Everything else is looking pretty solid. Mike Evans, though, seems to be in his prime right now, making catches like that. Come on.
Yeah, it was wild. He's had
Javon, you got to be sitting there smiling, though, because that's your goat. And he's making another incredible play like he does every season. I mean, every season
100%.
he's got catches like this. The guy's a freak.
He does.
Unbelievable.
He's honestly he hasn't been that good this season, other than he's always had one drive in each of the 3 games where he just cooks.
Yeah.
So that's hoping somewhat he can avoid that. Obviously, still rooting for him, but we'll see. We'll see how he fares against Marshawn next week.
Nothing like some garbage time. 3 catches on the last drive of the game to smack an over 4.5 receptions prop. Chad did get the coins back though last night with a little 2U halftime bet. This is why you guys watch Night Sweats. Gave this one out on Night Sweats. Saw the -2.5. I knew that game was going to be low scoring, but I also had a feeling after watching Joe Burrow look a little bit better in the second quarter that he was going to find a way to get it done and get a win against this moose shit Rams team who's a fraud. Yes, sure, Sean McVay and Matt Stafford and Puka can make some plays happen and maybe pull a win out of their ass every once in a while, but this Bengals team is too good, and it was nice to see their defense get activated last night as well. They pretty much won them that game. Shout out the Bengals defense.
Yeah, that could be big for them.
Yes, could be the difference as we get a hype train right now, folks. Alan Neutron coming in hot. That could be Jimmy Neutron's cousin. Cannot confirm. Res 15 coming in with a sub bang as well. Delta Chi sub banging. Auto Gelato giving out a sub bang. You guys are the guys. I appreciate you in chat. You come with the energy once again after probably the best BTL episode of all time yesterday. I knew we were smacking that squad ride after you guys brought the vibes, brought the winners. You were active in chat, and you gave out 7 million sub bangs. Had to be a world record. Somebody called Guinness.
100%.
What a time.
Our man
Let's
says he
keep
has
moving and grooving.
some pitch cake for you.
Man, Krabs don't want my pitch, but he told me to come give it anyways, and he's not acknowledging it. Drew, that's on me, brother. Let me know what you got. I'm assuming it's a soccer play. I think you were telling me about that last night on Night Sweats. I am all ears. Krabs, I come with a soccer play. You need to go to Wolverhampton. Both teams to score. Starts at about 45 minutes. Should be under England Carabao Cup. What is that?
Might have to lock in.
What is the Carabao Cup?
We might
know what that is, but I'm super down for some day game action. Anybody know what the Carabao Cup is, huh?
Oh, they're playing Ipswich. Oh, I'm so in.
They're playing who?
Ipswich.
Oh, of course, Ipswich. Everybody knows that.
Yeah, England second league team.
I know Wolverhampton. They're the Wolves, right? They're kind of swaggy.
Yes, they are.
Okay. Are we taking them? Are we taking that both teams to score prop? I'm pulling on my little book right now. I'm trying to see if they have it up. Chad, anybody else know about soccer? Anybody know ball? Wolves suck, you're saying. JR Dunn saying it's sharp.
Yeah.
Okay, Wolverhampton has a good defense. Fat Girls Whale, 5-piece, hold the fry from Fat Girls. Let's go, dudes.
Fat Girls.
5-piece. Yes. 2 words, yes. All right. The freaking Caribou Cup. Caribou Coffee Cup? Is that what we're trying to bet here? What is this? What is this league? Let me lock this in so we can get dialed, okay? Because I did tell that kid I was going to lock in his play, and he came with a winner and a sell job, so I feel like I got to tail it for at least half a year.
Yeah.
Is this international? What the heck is this? Europe?
England. Yes.
What's the league I'm looking for here, folks?
It'll probably say
EFL.
It'll say EFL Cup.
EFL Cup?
Yeah.
That might not exist.
Here
it is. EFL Trophy.
Exists.
Sure. There it is. We're taking both teams to score.
Oh, it's -170.
That's okay.
We'll let it. We have to. We have to.
That's okay. I guess I got to go full unit then if it's -170 pace.
Yeah,
it's literally just both teams to score. That's all it is, right? I'm not a big soccer guy. We take that and we move.
1-1.
Okay.
That's all we need.
All right, minus 170. I'll put a U on it. Wolverhampton and Ipswich. Ever heard of them? I haven't. Doesn't matter. We're locking in. All right.
Let's go.
W's minus 170 for you. All right, chat. Keep us updated because I'm sure as heck I don't even know where to check those soccer scores. So you guys let us know what's going on in that game. All right, folks. Let's keep updating. Let's keep giving you these W recaps. We've got a little book it fantasy football update. Guys, I've got some work to do. I'm in last place. I lost once again this past week to Steph Smalls, and Javon just lost to Lisa Ann. So we've got some work to do, folks. It has not been the greatest start of the season. No.
Yeah, not the slightest.
No, it has not. I am in the cellar. Me and Shelly down there. He hasn't even changed his boxers in 3 days, and I'm freaking down there with him in the standings. Are you kidding me? Come on, man.
Crazy, man.
Need my entire lineup in my office immediately after barely suiting up against the real Lisa Ann this week. Yep.
Yeah,
100%.
I need Derrick Henry. I wasn't expecting him to go out there and drop, 20 on the Browns, but 2 points, man.
That's just not going to cut it.
I've hoped.
Not going to cut it.
He's been shit to start the year, but he's played the Browns and the Saints. He's probably not going to have any run defenses better than that he's going to face the whole year. So I've hoped the boys are going to get together. I also made a rule with myself that in this league, I would not start Sam Laporta until he scores a touchdown, just so I avoid bias. So I'm starting him now.
What? Why would you do that?
It's just I had to make sure. Had to make sure, man.
Okay.
I wasn't going to start him until this week anyway. But
okay. Well, now you got to start him. I feel like.
Yeah.
Krabs, is Cup coming back? I don't know, Baumgartner Jackson. I don't know, but that could go down as the worst first-round pick in history. And then I looped around for round 2, Javon, and I took Christian Watson.
There we go.
So that's why my team blows. And I also reached and took Jahan Dotson, who has not showed up yet, although I do think he balls this week. But how many times can I keep saying that? And he doesn't put up results. So he's been kind of screwing me. It's been tough, man. It's been tough. Look, guys, I got Michael Thomas, who's doing enough. He's keeping me in it. I had freaking J.K. Dobbins as well on this team. I'm toast, but there is some good news. I do have Kamara. So he's going in the lineup this week.
That'll be huge.
That could be the difference. But my team is absolute new shit, man. Javon, what about you? You got a chance to come back at all?
Yeah, I have a pretty big chance. Now that Laporta, I guess it'll diminish a little bit when Jameson Williams comes back, but I'm not a huge believer that he's like the difference. Laporta's going to grow up. Derrick Henry will have some easier matchups. Deshaun's going to continue to ball, who's the only one who started doing anything this week for the team. So I'm feeling good.
Okay. Christian Watson, round 2. Yeah, some are calling that a new shit pick. Some are calling Cooper Kupp in the first round a new shit pick. People forget Jamar Chase was on the board, and I took Cooper Kupp because we didn't know he was hurt until about 3 hours after that draft. You can't script it. You know what, Javon? Maybe this should have been the Steam Crab segment, honestly. Chad, I'm excited to welcome this segment in. Although I feel like I do have this segment every episode anyways, we're going to officially make it a thing today. As Ron Muxclan comes in and gives his daily sub out, W's. Let's go, Ron.
W's.
We got Leho picks as well, sub banging. Fat Girls, he's giving out 10 subs today. Gave out a bazillion yesterday. You guys are freaking goated. I really appreciate you guys. The support does not go unnoticed. It doesn't. Okay. Javon, last night. Yeah, get that Steam Crabs graphic up there, folks. Last night, could have had it all in that Eagles game. Teased that up beautifully. Javon, great call there. Smacked the squad rides. All we needed was an A.J. Brown tutty, and he was getting fed the entire fucking game. It was clear that after all that bullshit last week, Jalen Hurts wanted to make it up to his star receiver and get him the rock. It was time. They made it a point, and it worked. He grubbed. Had, 130 yards, Javon? Had a great day, 8 catches or something like that. Well, he dropped the 2 that mattered. Okay, he dropped the 2 in the fucking end zone. This guy had 11 touchdowns last year, and he dropped 2 touchdowns that my Mima could have caught behind her back with her fucking eyes closed. I don't get it. Maybe Vegas made a call. Here's a video of the first one. That was an absolute cupcake touchdown in the corner. No one's even touching him. And that would have been a cash right there. And then he dropped the second touchdown, which I'm not even going to show because I think I might fucking explode. The second touchdown, I could have caught with no fucking limbs. Okay? It was literally a 2-yard pass right in the middle of the end zone, and it would have been done. Plus 140 cash, anytime touchdown score. We go about our day. The read was perfect, but he dropped it again. All right? And this is when it gets even worse, folks. I thought it was done. I was pissed. It's over. Did not cash the bet, whatever we moved, still cash the teaser. Then the Eagles get the ball back, Javon. And I'm sitting there thinking, am I about to give myself false hope here like I did with Cal the other night? Am I really going to do this to myself? Why? And then they start moving the ball. And I'm thinking, Eagles don't seem like they've thrown in the towel yet. They're still moving the rock down the field. This game isn't that much of a blowout. Maybe they will try to score here. Sure. I can see them getting the ball to AJ here right at the end of the game and try to seal the deal and finish the job Jalen Hurts and his star receiver wanted to do in this game, and that was get him 10 catches, and that was get him over 100 yards receiving, and that was get him a fucking touchdown like he did 11 times last year when he was a stud. And you can't do that against this moose shit Rams team? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? They get down to the 20. All right? They're moving the ball with ease. They're cutting through it like fucking room temp butter. All right? And they get the ball to the 10. They throw one more pass. I'm thinking, oh my God, they're throwing a pass here. Why are they even passing? Why are they not even kneeing? Why are they not running the ball out? They're passing. Oh my God. And then they hit AJ Brown with a pass. And he gets tackled immediately at the 8-yard line. And the game is fucking over. Why give me the hope? He could have had 3 touchdowns in this game. He could have had 5. The whole game plan was to get him the rock, and they failed. But it gets worse, Javon. Apparently, this was a flu game for Jalen Hurts. And if that's the case, it makes a lot of sense because he looked like rat shit out there. But you know what? He still fed A.J. Brown. And apparently, that wasn't the only thing that was feeding A.J. Brown. This motherfucker was eating Takis before the game, and he had a stomach ache. And he's bitching about it afterwards. After last week, you're yelling at your QB on the field in front of all the cameras, all the media. Okay? You're screaming about not getting the rock. And then the next day, you eat a whole fucking bag of spicy-ass Takis before the game and you have a tummy ache and it's affecting your play and you're talking about it afterwards? Are you fucking kidding me? Are you kidding me? How can Jalen Hurts take this guy seriously going forward? Give me the ball. Give me the ball. Give me the ball. Give me the ball. I'm gonna call you out. I'm going to do this on the field. Everyone's going to be like, wow, they should have waited till the fucking halftime or waited till they got inside in the clubhouse and handle this inside. No, I'm going to call my star quarterback out right on the field. Give me the rock. All right, fine. We'll get you the rock next week. Okay, I'm going to eat a full bag of Takis right before it. I'm going to shit my pants. I'm not going to be able to get in the end zone. What are we doing, folks? Put the Takis down. You are a professional athlete in the NFL. Why the fuck are you eating a bag of Takis when you're bitching to your QB, telling him to get you the rock and that you're ready to get yourself a win and get yourself a touchdown? I don't get it. This fucking pissed me off. I am steamed. And I am done with A.J. Brown. He should have fucking scored. I think that was a pretty W segment.
Yeah, and with that said, I would like to announce my first 5U wager in the NFL next week against the Commanders. A.J. Brown, anytime touchdown scorer. I will be hammering that. Respect.
Yep. That should be free. Yeah, you know A.J. Brown's going to score one, at least one, probably 2 against my Commanders next week just to show me up after this whole bullshit. Can't make it up.
Can't.
All right, folks, let's keep moving and grooving. A.J. Brown is dead to me. He should have caught that ball. He should have caught the second one. He should have not eaten a bag of Takis and shit his pants on the field. Get in the lab, A.J. Brown. And if you're going to ask your fucking star QB for the rock, get fucking prepared for the game and get ready and don't shit your britches. Golly, man.
Britches is
Fucking
crazy.
Takis, bro, before a game. That's like, if I can make a list of the stupidest, worst things to eat before a game as an NFL player, Takis might be fucking 1. What?
That's crazy.
What nutritional value are those giving you, man? Those are going to fuck you up. Oh.
Crazy.
Golly, man. If I eat a freaking bag of Takis, I'm out of commission for 24 hours. I can barely get out of a chair. You think he's going to be able to catch a touchdown pass? What the hell are we doing, man? That's shitty prep. That's called not being dialed.
So far from locked.
All right, folks. Let's get into some actual content here. Let's get into some actual sports talk. we've got college football power rankings, Javon. Let's hop right into it. Still got Georgia at 1 here. Still have Michigan at 2. Although Georgia might have, the easiest schedule to ever exist, they haven't done anything to lose that number 1 spot. Michigan, I feel like, without Harbaugh, they've done enough where they also deserve this 2nd spot. I think they have one of the highest score discrepancies in college football through the first 3 weeks. Their defenses look great. They've stepped up. The coaching staff has stepped up with no Harbaugh. He's back. And this Michigan team is still very, very good and deserving of that 2 seed. And Javon, we still have the Longhorns at 3. Pretty standard through the first 3, right? What do you like about these teams? Do you see any of these spots changing down the line? Or do you think these 2-3 will be holding it down for the foreseeable future?
Georgia and Michigan will, in all likelihood, be holding it down for a while because of the ease of their schedule. Again, nobody has done anything to knock them off necessarily, but they won't have many chances to. When it comes to Texas, obviously you have Red River looming next week, so they'll have a judgment day there. Similar to the bottom 2 teams in the 4 and 5 spot, which we talked about. I think they're pretty interchangeable. I like Washington at the 4 spot over Penn State, but again, I think Penn State has 2 more weeks, and then the Ohio State game at home. Then Washington has 1 more week before they play Oregon. So these teams really, I guess, 3 through 6, you're going to find out exactly where they stand very, very soon. Ohio State, not going to try and diminish their win or anything against Notre Dame, but I watched that game and I still thought Notre Dame was the better team. I was expecting to come out of that game because, like we talked about it, we thought Ohio State was going to win that game. I expected, if that were to happen, for me to come back feeling confident about this team and confident about Kyle McCord kind of leading them to a classic Ohio State kind of elite team that can take down, a Penn State or anybody else at the top of that conference kind of by themselves. Didn't come away with that. So it's a good win nonetheless. Don't want to diminish that, but Kyle McCord is not inspiring any kind of confidence in me whatsoever, which will be big for a lot of the better teams that play.
That's fair. 2 questions for my guy Loic here. Number 1, how many units did you lose on Colorado this weekend? Was it 1, 2, 5? How many did you lose betting on Colorado this weekend? And question number 2, or I guess statement number 2 would be, guys, if we just ranked these teams just like ESPN did and ranked it based off of what happened last week, why would we do that? You can just go to the fucking ESPN app and pull that up yourself. We're doing power rankings here, folks. We're ranking the best overall 10 teams who we think by far and by none, are ranked, where Georgia's going to beat Michigan, Michigan's going to beat Texas, Texas would beat Washington, Washington would beat Penn State, and that's honestly pretty close there. We'll talk about that in a moment, but these are power rankings of our best 10 teams ranked. We're not just, looking at the fucking schedules and, the scores of last week and ranking the teams accordingly. If you want that, go to the fucking AP poll. All right, these are our top 10 teams here, and we got Washington at number 4, the Huskies. Javon, although Cal showed some life there against their defense late, but I'm not even really counting it because I'm sure Washington was probably a little checked out at that point since they were up like 40 points already at half. That team is still unbelievable. They have Michael Penix, who is debatably one of the best QBs, probably the 2nd best QB in college football. They have an unbelievable, group of weapons on that offense with the receiving core. They have a decent running back, good O-line, and their defense is good enough. This Washington team is legit. Michael Penix doesn't make mistakes. He had 1 pick against Cal. I was shocked to see that. It was like the world exploded from the commentators when he did it because he doesn't throw picks. All right, and expect him to correct that going forward. And he freaking balled, by the way, after he threw that pick. He put his foot on the gas, and that's probably why we didn't cover, because he threw that pick and he turned on the 2nd gear in the rest of that game and put up another 21 points for Washington. But Javon, this offense is freaking legit. Talk about them a little bit.
I don't see a single defense that's going to stop them, like in any of these top teams. You could say Georgia, I guess, on paper at the very least, has the strongest unit, and I'm not going to act like they've played a curtain call of great defenses to this point, but they're ridiculous. And you said the same thing when we were talking about it earlier. The one thing that you love about this offense, because you love the explosiveness, you love the weapons, you love everything they're doing from a play calling perspective, but you also love Michael Penix, who is an extremely experienced quarterback leading this offense. So that's what kind of keeps them up there and inspires confidence over a lot of these great defenses that they really haven't seen yet. But they're going to be a fun team to watch no matter what. And that game next week against Oregon, that might be the best game of the college football season.
Oof. That is going to be incredible. Where is that game? Do you know?
It's in Washington, in Seattle.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
That's going to be nuts. And we'll talk a little bit more about some of these Pac-12 teams we put in the top 10 at the end, Javon, and I want to spend all the time on it right now. But Michael Penix is legit. He will be the second QB off the board in this draft ahead of Drake May, who was the guy on all the graphics with Caleb Williams in the beginning of the season. Have you guys seen Drake May talk much recently? I haven't heard a peep. I haven't seen a single fucking Caleb Williams and May graphic next to each other. It's been all Penix because of the performances he's put up out on the field. The guy is already an NFL QB, and it helps that he's like 25 years old. I mean, he's been in college football for 10 years, it feels like. He was at Indiana first, and now he's here, and he's had some injury years. The guy's a seasoned vet. He doesn't make mistakes. He's got a cannon. He only has 6 sacks on the season. He never takes a sack. He's smart. If any Pac-12 team can finally break the stigma that they don't have the depth to beat a team like Georgia or beat a team like Michigan in the college football playoffs, it's going to be either Michael Penix and that unbelievably elite offensive, artillery of unbelievable weapons at wide receiver, or it's going to be Oregon and Bo Nix. And we'll talk about them in a little bit. But you need an elite QB if you want to be able to beat a team with that much depth and that much, history and success like Georgia. And these two teams have
100%.
Yep.
100%.
Let's keep moving and grooving. Updated Heisman odds. It's still going to be Caleb Williams. They're going to find a way to give it to him. But those odds are very, 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 very close. You don't think so?
No.
Really?
I mean, I think, for one, they're going to go into South Bend and lose. That's what I think. But that's going to kind of spiral the downfall of the Heisman voters there. But we'll see. It also depends on what Michael Penix and Bo Nix do next week.
100%. Okay. Caleb Williams might lose in South Bend. That might throw off his Heisman reign. Okay. I'll believe it when I see it. And I will say USC did not look very sharp this weekend. Yes, they pulled out a win, but they didn't look too great in that game, Javon. Arizona State was kind of handed it to them a little bit. They were being physical, and they gave them a hell of a contest in that game. Maybe you're right. Maybe this USC team is a little overrated, and that's probably why we have them a little bit lower than most. Let's hop back to that rankings list, and let's keep powering through here, folks. Penn State at the 5. Javon, I have been extremely impressed with Penn State, with Aller, with Coach Franklin. Guys, the Nittany Lions are back. This team is so fucking good. The only thing that scares me is that their star five-star QB is a freshman. He hasn't been here before, and when he gets under the lights in the college football playoffs, we don't know how much mojo, we don't know how clutch this kid is. Some of those kids will get in that spot and they'll fold like a Dollar Tree lawn chair, and you won't hear about them ever again. Some of them rise up, and that's where they, get their claim to fame, and they change the sports and they rewrite the script of history. Could Aller be him? He's got all the talent. I just haven't seen him really play in, an extremely important spot yet. He's played 4 teams where they should have beaten all 4 of those teams, but they have done it very impressively. So we're putting him in the top 5. Penn State really hasn't done anything wrong yet. That defense is still pretty good. They've replaced a lot of NFL DBs, very impressive. And they have a star QB who's very young, but looks great so far, and a great coach and pretty good trenches as well. Are you in on Penn State as much as I am?
Not as much yet. I'm a little – I guess some of it – I know it's week 1, but some of it comes from the West Virginia game. I mean, West Virginia's offense that has been terrible this season. Like, at the beginning of that game, they looked kind of good, especially like Devin is saying it in chat, in the run game. So that concerns me. The defense is still a solid unit, but I don't think it's as strong as they've shown. And then, looking at Ohio State's defense and what they did in South Bend, and then looking at what Michigan's defense has done so far, it's hard. It's hard to trust Drew Aller in his first full season as the starter pretty much in this game, or in one of those games. So it's not that I don't believe in the kid, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there, either in the Michigan game or Penn State or Ohio State in a couple weeks.
100%. Got to give credit, though. In every spot so far, he has showed up, showed out, and I was very impressed. Although Iowa's not great. Everyone's talking about this new-look Iowa team this season, Cade McNamara, their offensive scoring, whatever. And, yeah, they might be a little bit better than last year. They're not great, but that's still a very impressive win. I don't care if they were home. Shutting them out under the lights, a ranked team. Penn State could be back, folks. Keep your eyes on this team. Keep your eyes on the young star QB. If you haven't watched him yet, might be worth your time this weekend. Javon, we put Oregon at 6. This is more of a me thing, I feel like. I am obsessed with this team. Bo Nix, same thing we talked about with Penix. Old, smart, consistent. But you know what? Bo can run the fucking ball too. Okay, this kid, and yeah, Penix could scramble a little bit and run if he needs to, but Bo can run the ball. That guy can run some motherfuckers over. He is unbelievable. This is not the same guy we watched at Auburn. Maybe it's the system he's in, but he has grown immensely. And yeah, he's like 30 years old, sure. But he's still the Oregon QB. And we're still going to be betting on him and profiting off of him and gassing up this Oregon team, who, by the way, it's not just him. They have an incredible group on the offensive side of the ball as well, a bunch of weapons, some veteran receivers for Bo Nix who have been carrying. They've got Bucky, who's a freaking beast. They've got a really freaking good defense, at least so far. I know they haven't played a lot of great teams yet, but that number 5 corner that I watched against Colorado looks like he could be playing in the NFL on Sunday already. This Oregon team is stacked. Am I, 100% locked in on the depth on the defensive side of the ball? Not yet. I want to see them play a real team. But right now, Bo Nix is good enough to be ranked in the top 10, and I'm very high on this Oregon team. They're winners. And their coach seems like he's not really playing around this season with those, pregame interviews and all that shit. He's riled up. Maybe it is Oregon's year. And it feels like he took all that personally. So maybe this kind of jumpstarts them and Oregon back into the national spotlight after that big win last week.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm not very convinced about depth, like you said, on the defensive side of the ball in the secondary, but I do think, and this is not just from watching the Colorado game against that absolutely trash O-line, but the front 7 is a lot better than people realize. Like, if you talk about in that game specifically, obviously they destroyed Shore, who also hung on to the ball every single second for a lot longer than he should have, but also, like, what saved them in the Texas Tech game? It was their front 7 and getting pressure on Tyler Shaw. So I do think it's a lot better than people realize, and we'll see how it fares, in a couple weeks against Penix and probably the best offensive line in the Pac-12 and, a very smart quarterback who knows how to avoid getting sacked. But I believe in the D-line in the front 7. So we'll see how the secondary holds up.
Little under 3.5 win total report here, folks. That shit's caked. If they didn't have Stanford on the schedule, I would have 1% of hope. But they will beat Stanford, who was atrocious, and they will probably beat a couple of these other teams, maybe in Arizona, maybe in Arizona State, probably one of those two. And my prediction is they probably end with 5 wins this season. Still not going to be as impressive as all the hype was in week 1. And guys, next season, this Colorado team will be even better because they'll have even more recruits. And they'll have Deion's first season, coaching Power 5 under his belt. And they'll learn from this year. It's not going to be perfect this season, guys. And that's why I was telling you all to shut up about the hype in the first couple of weeks, because it's going to be a roller coaster in his first season, straight up. It's going to be a lot of ups and downs. Okay, but next year they're going to bring in a bazillion people. I probably won't be fading their win total next year for that and probably a couple other reasons because Coach Prime is a winner. But that team right now is not there yet. Oregon showed that last week. If you guys can't believe that, you don't know ball. Javon, take us through the last couple teams here. What are you thinking about Ohio State, Florida State, USC, and then Utah and their defense?
Yes, I mean, Ohio State, we talked about for a little bit. Impressive win on the road, but for them specifically, I needed to see a little more from Kyle McCord to believe in them kind of long term. So, I mean, I don't want to diminish the impressiveness of that win, even though it took everything. But again, quarterback situation, still a lot of question marks for me. Notre Dame gave that game away in many aspects. I mean, I watched that game again, like my assumption was going to be, because we thought the Ohio State was going to win that game, that if they did, you're going to come home and say, okay, Kyle McCord is kind of showing improvements over the first couple of weeks. He kind of looks like that guy. Ohio State is starting to look like the Ohio State that we could expect to be a dominant force in the Big Ten, which, again, I don't really come away with that after watching that game. So it's not to say it's not an impressive win. It's not to say that I want to take any credit away from Ohio State, but there's not much that changed in my mind from watching this game.
I still can't believe we didn't take that under between those two schools under the lights. We should have known they were going to fold both those programs, man. Recently, they don't have the freaking juice. Yeah. We should have faded their offenses, and we should have known that game was going to play out exactly like that. Sloppy, not impressive one bit. Sure, Ohio State got a win, and that's why they're still here in the rankings ahead of these other teams, but they don't deserve to be top 5. They haven't looked top 5 yet all year.
Yeah, I mean, they can prove it with a dominant win against Penn State. We'll see how that happens. But
yes,
if that happens, Because at that point, I would probably be pretty convinced, but I'm not there yet with them. Same with Florida State, which the last 2 weeks, I mean, again, very impressive win, especially on the road against a Clemson team who does not get beat very much at home. But this is a very different Clemson team. And honestly, the problem with them the last couple weeks is not that they haven't looked good. It's just they have so many should-be game-breaking mistakes. Like, again, if they're not playing a Boston College team, who, I mean, defensively is so terrible, they lose that game in Chestnut Hill. If they're not playing a Clemson team who has been built off of mistakes and just overall inefficiency on the offensive side of the ball, they lose that game. So again, they've done what they needed to do, winning games so far this year. LSU game was a complete performance. Can't take away credit for them from that. But since then, they haven't done all that much to convince me that they should be pushing the upper tier of a couple of these teams that we see, like a Washington, like a Michigan or Texas, or any of these teams that have pretty consistently been putting together good performances. So I need to see them clean up on the mistakes, especially on the Jordan Travis side of the ball. Because just like we're saying here, Florida State is doing just enough to squeak by in some of these games.
Mm-hmm.
So I need to see a clean performance out of them. USC defensive side of the ball is kind of an issue for them. We kind of knew that coming in. Haven't been all that impressed, but Caleb Williams is going to do his thing. I just want to wait for judgment of them until they go and they play the top teams in the Pac-12 and Notre Dame on the road.
I just think it's so concerning, like how out physical they got at times versus Arizona State this weekend.
Yeah.
I only watched the second half. Okay, so maybe I'm not getting the full picture here, but I mean, Arizona State was kind of throwing them around on both sides of the ball at times. And then USC would have, a 50-yard pass that would get them in position, or they'd have a crazy breakout play because they have a lot of talent.
Yeah.
But that game was closer than the scoreboard showed. I am not sold on this USC team at all this season.
Yeah,
at all.
People forget this is a team in Arizona State too, who, I mean, they should have won the game a couple weeks ago, but they got shut out in the second half by Oklahoma State, who gave up 33 to South Alabama at home, and then they just got destroyed in probably one of the best performances in conference you've seen in the past couple years from Iowa State's offense. So to see this from USC's defense, we knew it was going to be bad coming into the season because they really don't have the talent on that side of the ball. But against Arizona State, that's concerning.
What'd you guys think of the Ryan Day interview? Yeah, thoughts on Ryan Day, chirping Lou Holtz?
Fuck that guy.
I mean, like Lou Holtz. I mean, what he said was stupid. I get calling like somebody out, but like that dude's pushing. What is he, 90? That's
He's
your first thoughts when you go on the road and beat a Notre Dame team in one of the biggest games of the early season to call out a 90-year-old guy.
Imagine how
he's 86, Javon, not 90. He's not there yet.
Okay. It's close enough, dude. He's getting there.
Imagine how fired up and juiced up you have to be to chirp Lou Holtz. Like, you got to be a different type of gassed. You got to be on another level of adrenaline running through your body to chirp Lou Holtz. Whew. Yeah, not me. I'm not chirping that guy. He's a freaking legend. He's a fossil. Not me. Weird look.
His dementia. Yeah.
It's like weird look, but it's Ryan Day just kind of locked in, him keeping his job for another week at the end of the day. So it's not surprised to see him that fired up. And yeah, this literally was Ryan Day in the post-game interview. Who do you think you are? I am. Remember that video?
Yeah. Classic.
Unbelievable. Yep. Let's let Lou Holtz relax. Let's leave him alone. All right. We'll let him talk his shit. He's old. All right.
Yeah.
Let's keep moving. Javon, talk about Utah's defense real quick, and then we're going to move.
I mean, it's just so good. Like I took at the very least, Utah this weekend, regardless of what the quarterback situation was going to be, because they had a UCLA team that I didn't believe in offensively coming into Rice-Eccles Stadium, where, I mean, Utah's defense has been so dominant, but it really didn't matter what was going on with the quarterback situation because their defense is just going to lock them down. Like, their defense is keeping them in games without a competent quarterback. Like, I hate to say that about Bryson Daniels and the other quarterback. I forget his name off the top of my head. It's been starting lately. But they're doing this all without Cam Rising. So this is kind of the sleeping giant in the Pac-12. Once you get a Cam Rising back, hopefully it comes sooner than later. There's a lot of elite offenses. When we talk about USC, Washington, and Oregon, they're going, especially when they go into Rice-Eccles Stadium against this defense, it might be the most dominant unit on one side of the ball, including all the explosive offenses in the Pac-12.
Whoa.
if I continue to see that, I mean, the only ones that I'd contend are those 3 offenses there. But I don't trust them to move the ball in that defense consistently. So Utah and their defense is keeping them in a lot of these games with backup quarterbacks, and with Cam Rising, I think they're going to be right up there with those teams.
Nate Johnson deserves a shout out. That's the other QB we're talking about.
He's been good enough.
He's been good. Like for him, as a freshman learning that offense, he's been good. Has been 100%. Great. He's been good.
He doesn't have to be. That's the thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Keep the ball safe, hand the ball off, and have at least, one big play. I mean, remember that pass he had in the first game of the season?
Yeah, I mean, they've just been doing just enough because their defense is just dominant.
Yeah, they're like that. Guys, watch out for this Utah defense. They are legit, and they're not getting talked about enough because we haven't seen Cam Rising be put back in that lineup yet. As soon as you do, then you're going to start hearing the Utah glazing, okay? Because that guy's a winner. I'm so excited to get him back. Maybe it'll be this week, Javon. Maybe not. I feel like every week we hear he's going to play, but definitely getting closer. Yeah. Definitely getting closer. Need him. W's.
100%.
Yeah, Utah and their uniforms are freaking electric. This team,
yeah,
I'm in on.
Cold.
I'm in on.
Cold uniform.
All right. Javon, do you want to do a quick college football playoffs? Little 4-piece prediction? 4 teams we think as of right now are going to be going dancing.
Sure.
We don't have to go through all the schedules and everything, but maybe we just pick the 4 best teams we like who are going to be the best teams at the end of the season. I can get it started off. Georgia will be there. Okay, their hardest game of the season is at Tennessee. That is ridiculous, and whoever was in charge of the schedule should get fired because that's not fair and acceptable, and honestly not cool for our viewing pleasure as well, watching games on Saturdays. Georgia's just going to be mucking all these teams every game. We want to see Georgia playing a real game. We're not going to get that to the playoffs, but they'll be there. I think Michigan will also be there, and I'm going to go ahead and take 2 Pac-12 teams. I'll take Washington and Oregon, 2 offensive powerhouses with 2 stud veteran QBs. So I'm going to go Georgia, Michigan. I'm going to go the Huskies at Washington and Bo Nix at Oregon. 2 Pac-12 teams making it, and we'll get 1 Pac-12 team in the finals this year. I'm fucking stoked.
Interesting. Yeah. I feel like I can't do anything else with the first 3 teams. I mean, Georgia, again, regardless of how good they perform, their schedule is so soft that it's not going to matter. Michigan, not exactly the same deal, but I think they have the juice there. Washington, same deal. Somebody's going to make it out of the Pac-12. I do think I'm a little concerned about 2 teams making it in from the Pac-12 just because they're so deep.
It would have to go perfect.
Yeah, they're so deep. So I think they beat each other up. So I'm not going to go 2 teams there.
Okay.
But I'll take you to a dark horse that's not on the screen. I'll stick with Oklahoma making it.
Dude, yes.
It's not because they're going to be this ridiculous team that's better than a lot of these teams necessarily, but to me, it's really going to come down to Texas. And if they can win the Red River / the rematch come in Jerry's world towards the end of the season. So we'll find out. We'll find out very soon what this Oklahoma team is made of, and that could easily change in 2 weeks, what I think of them. But I'm sticking with them.
I'm changing my prediction. I'm calling an audible. I think you're right. I think it will have to go absolutely perfect for 2 Pac-12 teams to get in with how loaded, the top 15 teams are this season. And they're probably going to face off. I would say Washington and Oregon will probably face off in the Pac-12 championship, and whoever wins that'll go. And I'm going to pick Oregon and Bo Nix, a little upset there. And I'll go with Florida State, who I don't think is going to deserve it. They might not be the 4th best team, but I think their path, and if they win the ACC and can stay undefeated, they will be given a chance. The Seminoles will be going dancing, and everyone's going to be pissed saying, oh, why did a freaking ACC team go this year? They're not even good, but they're undefeated, so they're there, and they're Florida State, and everyone's going to be pissed, but they're going.
Yeah, their schedule is also not very difficult.
No, it's not. They just beat Clemson. They needed to do that. That was their toughest game by far.
Yeah, and Big Rob, I might have to try. I don't know if that's on the schedule, but see if I make the cut for that one. But if not, I'm gonna have to try and get there for sure. I think it's in 2 weeks. We got a Wolves ready too.
If Notre Dame beats USC, Duke, and Clemson, do they have a case? Head scratcher.
I don't think so, unfortunately.
No, because they're not going to have a conference championship to put them over the edge.
Yeah, but their schedule is one of the hardest in the country, and they schedule it like that for a reason.
But the thing is, Ohio State screws them because Ohio State is likely going to be in a head-to-head situation there. W Wolves bang.
W Wolves more.
So if Ohio State is head-to-head with them in the playoffs, they're going to have the head-to-head advantage from playing them. But if they lose, then that makes Notre Dame look worse.
Yeah.
So it's kind of that win screws them. And I guess USC potentially could be kind of the same thing. If they beat them, I mean, it's a worse loss and potentially a team that's not going to end up in their conference championship if all things go wrong in the Pac-12. So they kind of, I don't know, their schedule kind of screws themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah. They play too many shit teams that cancel out them playing the good teams, and they end up not having the greatest strength of schedule.
I mean, I don't know. They have a tough schedule.
People are saying they've got the 50th ranked strength of schedule this season.
I mean, that's not bad.
Well, that might have been before Duke was Duke.
Yeah, that might have been before Duke was Duke. I guess it also could have been before Clemson was Clemson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But still, that's still Clemson on the road, which is still a respectful win. It's also a Louisville team on the road now that's been really good to start the season. So, I mean, it's a tough schedule.
Any chance Bama shocks the world in the season people believe in them the least and pulls off a miracle win if they can sneak into the SEC championship and beat Georgia? Any chance we see that, the college football world would explode, Javon?
That would suck because then that means – because, like, Georgia is still going to get in and if that happens.
Yep. That would suck. But you know what? A lot of times the teams they pick suck.
Yeah, because they're SEC.
We forget about it because the games are great and, we go about our day. But a lot of times when, they announce the teams, we're like, that sucks.
I mean, yeah, pretty much. I guess that's all going to come down to what? LSU. I guess it's going to be a head-to-head LSU, Alabama, and Tuscaloosa. That's going to be the game that's going to decide if they're going to get in.
12 teams next year, too. Don't worry. Not even worth our time.
There we go.
Right. W's. Javon, I'd say we just go right to MLB. I don't think we have time to do look-aheads. Maybe we'll do that tomorrow.
We can circle back. I mean, it's not like we have to spend a ridiculous amount of time on the slate.
Dubs, you want to take us through what you like in MLB? There's a ton of games today, a couple double headers, some playoff implication stuff today, if you want to let the people know. I know the Mariners have lost 4 in a row, and I think they're 1.5 back of Houston for that last wildcard spot right now. What else am I missing? Who else can clinch? And what else is going on in the playoff hunt?
Yeah, so I mean the NL wild card is still madness. Probably sans the Reds at this point, unfortunately again. But massive loss from the D-backs last night against the Yankees in that series, or yesterday afternoon. They're now tied with the Cubs for the second wild card spot there. The Marlins are still in play. The Reds probably need a miracle of a week to happen, unfortunately. But yeah, the Marlins are still in business to sneak in there, especially. I don't know what the motivation is going to look like for some of these teams because the Cubs have on the schedule this week because they do play the Braves and Brewers, which I mean that's a tough slate of the last week, no matter what you're playing for at the end, just because those two teams have their divisions locked up pretty much.
Yeah.
So
you might not be getting their A bullpens though, which is huge, right?
Thing is, like the Brewers B and C bullpen is 5 times better than the Cubs bullpen, A bullpen. So that's the thing with the Brewers, especially. Like their pitching, no matter what, is going to keep them in the games. Plus, I think they want to beat them so they can potentially face the Marlins instead of the Cubs. So I mean, that's a motivation for them there. But yeah, I just have a feeling the Marlins are going to sneak in. Maybe you get a D-backs disaster class too. Who knows? But yeah, there's a lot of weird stuff going on the slate for these wild card teams.
Dubs. We'll go through some of the games today. A lot of games today. And chat, please keep the questions coming about the games. But if you can, wait to ask the questions about the games until they're up there on the screen. So at least we can try to keep the questions targeted to what we're about to talk about. That would be helpful for us. And wait until the later games to ask Q's about those. And we'll get to them, I promise. Okay? Javon, we got a little first game of a doubleheader against the Dodgers and Rockies. Starting up in, I think, 15 minutes. Do you like anything in this game?
I mean, I really wanted to target the Dodgers in one of these games to just score 15 runs. I just hate that it's a doubleheader and you have to get involved. Because, I mean, I like the matchups pretty equally. Chase Anderson is one of the guys that, I mean, I guess on paper he looks like a terrible matchup, or at least for himself, against pretty much any other team. or any team you could put out there against him, especially against the Dodgers. It looks like he is due to get absolutely destroyed. So I would say my stance is they're probably going to be one of these games that the Dodgers just win by 16 and put up a lot of runs. I would lean towards this one, but I hate that it's the first day game of a doubleheader, which is my only concern there.
So maybe we play it smart and targeted. We wait out the first game. If the Dodgers pull out a win, maybe we target the Rockies game too somehow.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I don't want to target the Rockies, I'll tell you that, but I will wait out the Dodgers. And if this is the game that they drop 10 runs and I miss the boat, I'll live with it.
Okay. FYI, FD giving out Ohio customers profit based on Cincy Cleveland's, probably expecting people to bet the Reds. Well, go ahead and add that to the list of the reasons why I want to bet the Guards today. Javon, might as well get right into it since you disagree. Hunter Green coming off a 14 strikeout game against Lucas Giolito, one of the worst pitchers I've ever seen in my life. And the Guardians, who stink. And the Reds, who still have a pulse. They might be on life support, but they're still alive in the playoff hope. Give me a break with this line. You could tell me about how Giolito threw a gem against the Reds, once a month ago in his last start against them. You could tell me about how Hunter Green had the best game of his career, and the Reds still found a way to lose that game because that's what they do right now. Unfortunately, they lose. Javon, it's still ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I think your Reds meat glued might be throwing you off a little bit here. That line
I don't even want to bet them because I think they're dead. But, on the road, that's when I've been betting the Reds the most in little short spots. Like, last start that Hunter Green had on the road was David Peterson, and he was an underdog. So, seeing Giolito after pitching a really good game against the Reds first time around, which really he gave up one legitimate run, the one earned run, and the other runs were off of an error in the outfield. I'm not shocked to see this line.
Are you shocked to see Hunter Green 2.5 earned runs up on PrizePicks?
No, I think that's up every single time he starts now.
Okay. All right.
But, yeah, I'm not saying he's going to go out there and pitch a gem necessarily. I do think.
Are you shocked to see Lucas Giolito up, and he's pretty freaking great for 2.5 earned runs?
Not really. I think it's going to be a close game, lower scoring game. Hunter Green, obviously, he pitches well, pitches better against teams who strike out a shit ton. It's 14 Ks in his last start against the Twins, who have one of the highest strikeouts rates in the league. It's going to happen. But against teams that you don't strike out as much, obviously you're facing the penultimate one of the Guardians. He'll give up some contact. He won't have as many strikeouts. It's I don't think he's going to go out there and throw a perfect game, but I don't think the line is crazy.
Okay. All right. Meat is so glued, Javon became delusional. Prayers up.
Well, Jay Nasty, feel free to drop your guard slip, buddy.
Sorry, Jay Nasty. I thought that was funny, but I had to pull it up. Espresso Bet's coming in with a subby bang. Let's go. 13 months Espresso. We got Knifer coming in with a sub bang as well. W's, gents. Appreciate you as always. Drop that damn slip. But that meat might also be fused. It could be true. All right.
Flex sealed is crazy.
Transponded, sure. That meat might be flex sealed. That's crazy.
That's insane.
I never even thought about using flex seal as a verb. That's wild.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Okay. Well, I'm going to be on the Guardians ML here, folks. I'm going to be on Hunter Green, more than 2.5 earned runs in this spot. And I'm going to be fading the Reds. Javon, I apologize. Not personal, just business. But I can't ignore that line.
Fair enough.
Why don't you take us to the Nats game? Nats and O's. Rumor has it the O's, I think, can clinch with a win and maybe a Rays loss in the spots. Either way, they're going to clinch against the Nats in the series because Patrick Corbin pitches tomorrow. But what about today? Josiah Gray, Kyle Bradish, maybe a little pitcher's duel in this one?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a pitcher's duel. I like the under in the game, but I'm going first 5 under, especially because the Orioles' late game against the Nationals bullpen is something that I quite certainly do not want to get involved in. But Bradish has been himothy. He's kind of another guy. I wouldn't be surprised to see the strikeout numbers now, not just because the Nationals don't strike out, but when he pitches against teams that don't strike out nearly as much. It's kind of a little bit of a different approach to him. He pitches a little more fastball heavy, and minus 4.5 might hit as long as it's 5-0.
Yeah.
Yeah, but a little more fastball heavy for Bradish, a little more towards contact. The Nats aren't hitting the ball hard, so like that really doesn't concern me about Bradish. So I think he pitches well today, but Josiah Gray's looked great, really towards the tail end of the season. Now he's going on the road. I do think the Orioles, as good as they've been kind of as a team, kind of making this little push where it's been, I guess, somewhat them good, Ray's bad, and injured. The bats haven't been all that consistent. That's a little bit of a concern point for them down in the home stretch of the season. So I think Josiah Gray pitches pretty well too. Maybe they get some magic late off of the bullpen. So first 5 under for me.
W's. The Nats are late game heroes, and they pull runs out of their ass when it makes the least amount of sense. So I do not hate you isolating, taking the first 5, and especially also with the Nats bullpen. He's going to have to go up against the Orioles at Camden Yards, which literally just gave me the chills. I'm scared for those gentlemen who have to take the mounds out of the bullpen from the Nats today. That is no bueno.
Yeah,
okay, maybe Josiah can shut him down. And, if only somebody said 2 weeks ago when Josiah had a start skipped that he was going to come back and finish the season strong because he's a leader of that team and he's the hardest worker on that team. And all he needed was a little reset that he was going to deal the remainder of the season. If only somebody said that on here. But Josiah is coming through, Javon, and seems like all he needed was a week off. He's back to being all-star Josiah, and he'll be able to do enough against the O's to keep him off the scoreboard, at least relatively.
I honestly think it's like 2-1 Nats through the first 5, something like that.
Why the hell are we taking the Nats first 5 plus a half?
Yeah, I'm not willing to go to the grave with Josiah Gray or the Nats bats, I guess, more so against Bradish. I just think it's going to be one weird bang from them. And that's going to be a majority of the offense through the first 5, and then the Orioles get to the pen. So, I mean, if that happens, I wouldn't mind looking out for a Orioles live bet.
Okay. W's. Yes. The Nats will find a way to lose that game. All right. What about Philly? Somebody in chat was saying, are we going to lay Philly today? Are we going to take them as a parlay piece? You think they get it done today?
It's one I'm not willing to go to the grave with either. Just Mitch Keller against this team. This feels like a weird spot where I wouldn't be shocked for runs to come where you don't expect it the most. I don't know if there's pitching plans that have changed because I see it's blacked out here on DK. But I was seeing Mitch Keller, Aaron Nola. I wouldn't be surprised if we get a couple of runs off of both those guys, and it just turns into one of those weird games where the Pirates decide that they just want to start hitting against top-tier pitchers, especially if Nola doesn't have kind of his elite command, which has been a kind of a sticking point for them. So I would lean over if anything, as long as this is the confirmed pitching situation.
Do you think that total is low, though? With these two fraudulent pitchers? Nola's not good. Keller's not good.
Really.
Keller was an all-star, and he's completely fallen off more than Josiah at this point. And Aaron Nola's name is better than anything he's actually, produced on the mound this season. He stinks. And this total's at 7.5?
Yeah, it's kind of tough because, with Mitch Keller, he's been getting some lower totals because he's either come out and he's thrown shutouts or he's given up 15 in a game. So when you have that plus the Pirates offense, which honestly is kind of the same way, they had games where they came out against, I guess, both the Reds and the Cubs in the last week and put up 10 runs for absolutely no fucking reason. Or they just are the worst offense alive. So, the Pirates, I don't know. It's hard to value them sometimes, especially in this one.
Bad weather in Philly, too. Maybe there's some wind blowing in, which could also affect the total. Okay.
That could, yeah.
Okay. Interesting. I'll be honest, Javon, there's 3% of bets on this under, and it's piquing my interest. I don't know. I can't tell you the last time I've seen a 3% piece.
Interesting.
On the board.
Yeah.
Okay. And I know not that many people are probably betting this game, but I don't know if I'd be taking the over.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'm with you, though. These pitchers are frauds. I would not be shocked if either one of these guys gives up 8.
Yeah. They're going to give up. There's going to be one pitcher in this game that gives up 8, or there's going to be dueling no-hitters through 7.
Yeah. And I'm thinking with that total, it might be the latter.
It could be.
Might
yeah.
Be. Okay.
I'm definitely not in a rush to get involved in that game. I'll tell you that.
Okay. What about with the trophies? Are you rushing to get involved with them?
Definitely not. But I think if you had to make a bet in that game, for me, it would probably be the trophies. Zach Greinke has been bad, to say the least. And he's going up against Reese Olson, who's had a couple fraudulent performances as of lately. So I don't like backing the Royals on the road, so I'm probably not going to. I don't like backing Zach Greinke on the road either, but just feels like one of those games that they sneak out with their offense. I mean, their bats have been kind of good everywhere they go now lately, so I wouldn't be shocked, but still lean in that game. Can't say I'm looking to bet it, though.
Dubs. Let's just keep powering through, Javon. Take us through these games, and then we'll hit prize picks after. But walk us through them. Skip a couple crappy ones if you don't have bets or angles. I'll stop you if I have plays, but take us to Toronto, and then take us through the slate.
Yeah, so I like the over in this game with Michael King and Kevin Gausman. I honestly like the Yankees too, but I decided to hold off on that one. Maybe I'll get involved, but this game just happened pretty much with Michael King and Kevin Gausman, which the total really didn't reflect what was happening in the game. Both those guys threw absolute gems. So Michael King has been in the rotation now for a couple of starts. He's looked absolutely fantastic. Diced that one up, give up a couple. And then the bullpen really imploded at the end, which I believe that was the game that sent it under by half a run there. So that's kind of what I'm targeting here. But I also think the Yankees bats touch up Kevin Gausman today. Talk about a fade spot. When there's a pitcher in the same matchup who just happened or that just happened in their last start, and you have one pitcher who has been in the rotation for a couple weeks. I believe this happened a couple of times over the past week or so. One pitcher that's been in the rotation for just a couple of weeks, and one pitcher that's very obviously a premier starting pitcher that a lineup has seen quite a few times, at least the top of the guys in the lineup. I like to fade that pitcher more so, especially when the Jays are in a must-win spot where you think they can't lose at home in the first game of the series against the dead Yankees, who were, I believe, officially eliminated a couple days ago. So I'm starting to think their bats get to them. And
Can we get a round of applause real quick, folks? Can we take a timeout? Round of applause for the Yankees missing the playoffs again. What a joke. What a joke. Imagine paying that many people that much money. Imagine having the name of the Yankees and being the most loved fan base, probably out of any sport in the United States. And imagine you continuously flop year in, year out, and you haven't done anything in 15 years. And with this team, you miss the playoffs. It just keeps getting worse. Can we get a round of applause for the Yankees sucking? I know somebody in chat is with me on this one. Okay, W's, some claps. Javon, take us to Boston. What do you like?
Don't like much. I really don't want to lay here with the Rays just because this feels like such a crappy series. And I think the Rays, while they're not dead, it's just hard to back them with all the injury situations going on in that clubhouse. Because, offensively, it's a much different look with them right now. So I do think Zach Eflin pitches kind of well. I wouldn't be surprised if Tanner Houck dices a lot of this lineup as well. So I'd lean under, if anything. I really don't want to back the Rays.
W's. I was just pulling up all those people in chat who said fuck the Yankees.
Yeah, there we go. There you go.
You don't want to fade them here, though? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Not today.
Why is there no ML up for that game?
Oh, for the Marlins Mets?
Yeah.
That's weird.
Well, Marlins are about minus 125, and the Mets are about plus 115, if you guys are curious.
Okay.
But I'm with you on that game, Javon, and I have no plays. So take us to Chicago. I actually do like a play in this one, but I want to hear what you like first.
So I'm going with the over, and I know this line is going to continue to move because we have Justin Steele on the mound. It's going to continue to move against that, which I'm fine with. I honestly kind of think Justin Steele pitches decently for the Cubs today. I know why I assume you're on the Cubs because you saw the earned run square where he's given up 6 in his last 2 games, and he's got 2.5 earned run square up against the Braves. So I do kind of think he pitches well today. I think this is a big start for the Cubs' playoff hopes, but I do not trust either of these bullpens, and I don't trust Bryce Elder. So I do think the Cubs score early. Justin Steele kind of sneaks by with a solid outing, and then it's chaos towards the end of this game. So I think there's going to be runs on the back end, but I would not be shocked if the Cubs snuck this one out, unfortunately.
W's, as we get a CB bet sub bang, what a streak. I'm assuming you're talking about the pathetic Yankee streak of them not doing anything for 15 years. W's?
Wait, a nerfy boost on
it.
This game. I bet.
Address it.
I bet.
Sure. I mean, that Yerfy looks free, right?
Does it?
Yeah, that Yerfy looks free. You got Steele, who's been struggling. You got a total at 9.5. You got Elder, who's atrocious. If people don't know that Elder stinks by now, they must be living under a rock.
Yeah.
Oh, did I just ruin your day?
No, I'm just saying. Whenever those boosts are up, it's not the Yerfy that's hitting. tell you that much.
That's what I'm saying. Let's take the Nerfy.
Or not the Nerfy, I'd say. It's
Oh,
the Earthy.
shit. Oh, man. Those are Nerfy baits?
Yeah.
Batgirl's Inc. Am I off on that read?
I don't think you're necessarily off on the read. I'm not saying it seems like an easy Nerfy, but
You're just saying whenever they put those up,
those
the
boosts are
Nerfies don't hit.
points. Yeah.
They're Nerfy
And
bait.
it is a national televised game, too.
Yep. And I do like the over in the game. And it is two big name pitchers. So, okay. But I do like the Cubbies. Let's go ahead and pivot there. I like the Cubbies on the ML in this game for a couple reasons. Number one, that steal and run square up, obviously a great sign. He's been struggling, and now he's going up against the best offense in baseball, and they're putting that up. Number two, the line's coming down from plus 130 to plus 115 most places. Great sign, although there's some good value here on DK actually still. I might bet it there. But the Cubbies are sharp. The line's coming down. The splits look good. And anytime a team is playing the Braves, especially at home, and the line's moving their way, that's catching my interest for sure. Reason number three, I want to fade Elder every single game he pitches. He sucks. Reason number four, the Braves right now are not winning. First time all year. They're not winning every night anymore.
Yeah.
They're not. They clinched. They seem to be a little bit checked out right now. I think the Cubs, who need this game much more, they're going to be having their A bullpen out there. They got Steele and a bounce back spots. They get it done today. Love the way the line's moving and grooving. The Cubbies shocked the world on TV tonight. Justin Steele does just enough. Yeah, I lean the over. I don't think he's going to throw a gem, but I think the bullpens will get lit up a lot. This will be an exciting game. I think the Cubs come back and strike late with some runs probably in this one. And Steele does his job through the first six-ish, goes less than 2.5 earned runs. Cubbies come back late probably in a low-scoring start. Both these bullpens are meh. The game goes over late, and the Cubbies pull it out. Maybe a Bellinger bomb in the top of the eighth. That's what I'm feeling in my cojones. That could be it. Cubbies win this game 6-5. A lot of late runs.
There we go.
Should be a good action game on TV as well. Probably the best game of the night.
Should be.
Sure.
Could be. I don't know. We have D-backs White Sox. Same time. That could be a banger.
We got Dansby coming to Atlanta. Maybe that's what he needs to fricking get off the schneid. Because he stinks.
Yeah, he's not very good.
Bad contract right now. He's hitting 250. But you know what? That guy crushes baseballs in Atlanta. Maybe he's the one that comes through. That's an area that I can get behind.
He can get hot.
Sure. Don't let Dansby get hot, folks. Might be too
Switch
late.
Bang. There we go. Air
Sure.
score.
No way. It already hits. Bang, pitch cake. Let's go. We actually hit a soccer bet that we bet on during the day. Let's go, chats.
W's Drew.
Where's my guy Drew? Yeah. Let's go, Drew. I got you, boys. That's what I'm talking about. Minus 170. I don't give a shit. Sometimes you got to not fear the juice and embrace it. And right there we did, and it smacked. Gave us a nice little day game W. I feel like whenever we get cute and try to take plays like this, they lose horrendously. That's what I'm talking about, folks.
Yeah.
We cash, we trust our guns.
Don't tell Trent we banged some pitch cake with the chat, man.
Let's go. That was air. There's only 30 minutes in the game, Javon. They've already both scored.
Yeah, in air, both to score.
Great play, Drew. I come with winners. Chat, be more like Drew.
Drew's dialed. So dialed.
Drew's locked. That's what I'm talking about. I got more tomorrow. Fuck yes, Drew. We're all going to be waiting for it. W's. Javon, take us through the late night games. What do you like? What do you got? We'll finish them up. We'll do prize picks, squad ride, and get the hell out of here. What do we like?
Yeah, a couple of these are just moose shit games. I really don't want to get involved.
Skip the moose shit ones. My play on the diamond that I love is a Cubby, so I'm good.
Yeah, Cards Brewers, I really don't have anything. I think the Brewers win. Probably won't be easy. They'll have a big inning kind of at the end of the game like they always do. Davies, Urania, I wouldn't be shocked if we just get an ugly game where both those pitchers just deal and nobody gives a shit to watch that game, those offenses. Twins, A's, kind of same thing. I think they kind of blitz Paul Blackburn early in this game. And if you get into the bullpen pretty early, it's kind of tough to come back from that. If you're the A's, do I want to go to the grave? No, because the A's are just weird in this kind of spot here. But yeah, I would lean maybe a first 5 minus a half. I haven't looked at the juice on that or anything, but whatever it is there would probably be my play. Rockies game 2, not going to get involved in unless the Dodgers do not splooge in game 1.
Yep.
Rangers, A's or Angels. as moose shit as that over bet was yesterday, I think I would probably recommend going back to it again.
Oy, oy, oy. Okay.
Which, yeah, I mean, it's a little different of a pitching situation with John Gray. John Gray is very hit or miss. Thought he was going to be missed yesterday, which he really wasn't. The command was a little better. Did you say his name?
Who?
You know who.
You want me to say it? Is he on PrizePicks?
Is he on PrizePicks? Let's see. I doubt they're going to have, but it's the A's.
I mean, we're not taking the A's today, right? I feel like
No,
I can
he's
say the
not.
word Matt
Yeah.
Wallner. Matt Wallner. Matt Wallner. Matt Wallner. Matt Wallner. I feel like I can say Matt Wallner since we're definitely not taking the A's today, right? And maybe we can take him on
right.
PrizePicks.
Yeah, we'll see if he comes up.
Matt Wallner.
Yeah, Matt Wallner, Himothy's.
Great guy. Great guy.
Fantastic.
Great dude.
You know what to do, chat. You know what to do.
Great dude.
But yeah, this Rangers Angels game, I'd go back to the under. I am not a big Cody Bradford guy to say the least. Reed Detmers has seen this lineup so many times, and yeah, 425. That's a smart bet to make after you hear Krabs solution over him.
It's a little short too.
It is.
Okay, Wallner.
Equally short.
Okay, Wallner. I'm gonna start calling him Wally. What do you think about that?
Wally's crazy.
It's good, Wally. That'd be a movie too if you guys haven't seen that. What do you say, Walls?
It's a classic.
Sure.
Walls. Yeah, don't say Walls, bro. Taylor Walls is
PTSD. I know.
Taylor Walls might be one of the most painful athletes to watch on any of my teams.
Yeah, he sucks.
He's
Take
back.
us to San Fran. What do you like there?
Yeah, not too much there. Seth Lugo sneakily been very, very good in some of these spots against these teams who suck against right-handed pitching. The Giants suck against right-handed pitching, and they strike out a good bit. Kyle Harrison is so in between. He just throws so many fastballs. So he's going to be out there getting 10 strikeouts, or he gives up 4 runs. Honestly, today with the Padres, he might do a little bit of both because there's a lot of swing and miss in that lineup, especially against lefties. But there's a lot of bangs in that lineup against lefties throw a lot of fastballs. So I would probably say I lead Padres here, if anything, especially coming off of yesterday where their offense was terrible against Logan Webb. He threw an absolute gem. They snuck that game out, the skin of their teeth with his little complete game there. I think they bounced back for a win here where they're still kind of in the hunt. I don't
Whoever
think
loses this game tonight is eliminated from the playoffs.
Yeah, I'd have to say the Giants are the ones to fall today if I had to take one there.
All right. Matt Wallner, there it goes. See ya.
Deuces.
Home run. How about that Aaron Judge home run he hit yesterday? That was great, right? Oh, wait. That wasn't a home run. That was a rob. Oh, okay. My fault, guys. That wasn't a home run.
I think I forgot to mention that on the Yanks game, too. I'm thinking about taking him today.
You want to? Yeah, I could tell when you talked about him. You want to go back to him. They treated us well yesterday. Goods, get that shit out of here, man. I don't want to see that. That's going to ruin my day. Pull up somebody else. Pull up DJ LeMahieu or, get the lines. I don't want to see that guy.
Yeah, I might
do it. What are you doing here? Goods, what do I pull up a picture of Mike Tomlin and flash that in front of you when you're talking about your Ravens? Come on, Goods.
That's crazy.
You're going to be so much better, bro.
Crazy. And then the last
I'm going to just hide behind the screen. Sorry.
That's hilarious.
Let's get some W's in chat for my guy Goods. He's been absolutely killing it, producing BTL recently. We got Joshy doing Surge. We got Joshy doing We'll Be Seeing. Can we get some W Gootses going in chat? All jokes aside, he's been on fire. W Gooch. Sure. Unbelievable. W Goots. W Goots. W Wags Locks. Yo, is my guy Kobe in here? I owe a bunch of people shirts. Wags Locks, I'll get you, bro. Don't worry. Kobe also, he's the only one that hasn't responded back to me yet. If Kobe's in here, let me know. Show yourself, buddy. I need your addy. I need to send you a shirt for winning the trivia the other night. Javon, take us to the night game. Houston, Seattle. What do you like in that? What do you like in that game?
I think they finally get a win here and stop the slide. The Mariners do.
Really?
Yeah, which we get Christian Javier on the road, which is a great thing because I guess like a lot of the pitchers in the rotation for the Astros, really, really struggling on the road. Now you get a pretty desperate Mariners offense with George Kirby behind them, who, granted he's seen this lineup a couple times already in his young career and in this season, but I think he finds some success today. I wouldn't be surprised, even if he doesn't pitch all that well, for Javier just to get destroyed in this game. been kind of waiting on the wake-up game for the Mariners offense, and I kind of think this is where we're going to get it.
Ooh, Mariners respecting coins tonight, ending their little losing streak today.
Yeah, it just might be it. Just might be it.
Minus 130 with Kirby on the bump against fraudulent Javier. Totals down to 7.5. 7.5. Sheesh.
Yeah.
I mean, it is Seattle Pitchers Park. You think Kirby does his job today?
Yeah, I think he does his job. 100%. I think the Mariners bats do their job more than anything.
What's the PrizePicks board telling you?
Let's see. Let's see what it's telling me. No fantasy scores up for Javier, which is interesting to say the least.
The difference?
Yeah, they don't have much up for the Astros. I'll tell you that.
Huh.
Than the typical Altuve and Jordan, but for the Mariners, we're seeing kind of the typical stuff that we see. And yeah, they
took off Kirby pitching out.
Believe it's. I can double check the juice, but I would assume it's because it's steamed towards the over. Yeah, I mean, it's minus 130. Minus 130. So I don't know why that's juiced enough to take it off, but yeah, there's a couple guys that I wouldn't mind targeting. Julio, 2.5 hits, runs, and RBI, and a 7.5 total game is very interesting, even against Christian Javier. That Teoscar little combo of the 1.5 strikeouts and hits, runs, and RBI.
Back.
0 for 3 with 3 Ks yesterday. Now we're going back to the same exact squares.
You've got to be kidding me, man. You've got to be kidding me, man. Getting 3 Ks yesterday?
Yeah, barely touched a baseball yesterday.
We should have brought together every dollar from anybody around us that we knew, deposited it, and put that on a 2-piece with Baker interception. And that's what we should have done. That would have been the responsible thing to do with that square last night. Because that was the weirdest fucking square ever. And we let that go right under the table, right under the rug.
We did do that.
Damn it.
We did do that.
We did that. I mean, for the first time ever, you were speechless when you were looking at a PrizePicks square yesterday. You were like, oh, you're like, what? This is there. That's that. I was like, Javon's thrown off here?
I was just like,
yeah, what?
That's something that I had absolutely never seen. But you want to know the difference, though. You want to know the difference. Because we've been talking about those little small sample size stuff that they had. And what was he? He was 3 for 4 against Verlander with maybe a nuke. I think somebody said that yesterday. So he had a small sample size of like good ABs versus Justin Verlander. Against Christian Javier, he doesn't. He's 1 for 6. 1 for 6 with a strikeout. So
dang it. We missed our chance.
We did. So maybe that's a little difference. Maybe we get the Teoscar nuke job today.
Yeah, maybe we go with the other one. We go with option B this time.
I'll tell you what. I'm looking at, I know it's Christian Javier. I don't know how much they continuously value him home run prop wise. I don't have that saved to my memory, but Julio is plus 260 and Teoscar is plus 285 in a 7.5 total game.
That is so weird.
That's weird.
How are we going to attack this? And J-Rod had 2.5 hits, runs, RBIs with a total of 7.5. Come on. What the hell's going on here?
I mean, I don't think it can be anything other than just taking the Mariners for his back.
Yes. Yeah, straight up. There's like 10 different signs that point towards the Mariners, I feel like. Does the under make you like the Mariners more, though, with how sketchy Javier's been and Kirby being one of the Mariners, top arms? I know he hasn't been great recently, but like Javier's not going to get lit up today with that 7.5 total.
Yeah, he might.
Okay.
He might. I don't know. Theoretically, you should see a little playoff type atmosphere in this game, and I'm not saying you won't, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's like back and forth with the bats. At this point in the season, like 100% right too. Like you're going to see a lot of games this low. I mean, I guess you can see that through the slate of like any contending team, if they're involved in a game today. You're probably not seeing very many 8.5s other than this game right here on the screen.
Yep. And the Cubs game. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Cubs game. That's the Braves. Yeah, I guess.
Yep. Dubs. Okay. The over feels right. IP switch bang again. Let's go, boys. Remilo, they're putting it on them.
Timothy.
Sure. Okay. Why take J-Rod, hit run RBIs when you could take fantasy at 9 because of his steal threats? Would you rather go fantasy instead of the 2.5 if you were to back
Yeah,
J-Rod?
I would back him. I was just saying that square being up there is interesting.
Seattle can't hit a slider, and Javier throws that. Keep it in mind.
That is so blatantly false. He throws 60% fastballs, brother. I can
Does
tell
he
you
throw
that.
40% sliders?
I mean, probably 25, maybe 30. Like it's just a secondary pitch. It's definitely not all he throws.
Okay. All right. Could cause some issues, though. Maybe that's why the total's low as well. Okay.
Yeah, could be.
All right. But either way, Mariners ML probably the best look in this game.
Yeah.
Dubs. All right. Any PrizePicks squares that you're loving today that we can let the people know if they're trying to craft up a little early slip or early entry before we put out the A team and B team?
Let's see what we got, man. Let's go through it.
Yeah. I mean, I want to take that steal less than 2.5 earned runs. I really like that square.
Why don't you just pair that with Hunter Green?
Dudes, I wasn't going to bring up Hunter Green for this. Out of respect.
I mean, that's all you, brother.
Well, what else do you like?
I'm going through this game, so I want to target games that we think they're going to be runs. If we're talking hitters, obviously. I mean, the one that I feel like I have to take today, which you're not going to take, is Aaron Judge.
Next.
So you can have – I'm saying you can have your Hunter Green, and I'll have my Aaron Judge.
Sure. But what do you like that we could put in an entry that people can take?
Well, I know what you want to take looking at this. Looking at the other he has a Teoscar situation up there.
Judge does? Dude. I don't want to take any Judge in here, though, man. No Judge. We don't need to take his strikeouts.
Shocked you wouldn't take that while he's on the board.
We don't need to take it. He's done enough. He's cashed out for us enough. Rockies bang? Sure. Rob can take it. Chad, I'm trying to craft something up that you guys can take too. That's the whole point of this. Obviously, I could take a Judge more than 1.5 strikeouts with 100 Green more than 2.5 earned runs allowed, but we're not going to be putting that in an entry that we're all going to be tailing. Let's put those to the sides. Let's start with Steele. I feel like you can get behind the Steele one. No?
Yeah, I don't hate it.
Okay.
I don't hate it.
What else? Any hitters?
Let's go to the hits, runs, and RBI category.
Yeah, I'm looking.
And cruise through those.
I'd like to take Mitch, but he hit a nuke last night. Son of a gun. Steele hits, runs, RBIs. Morning, Bozo. Steele is good, right? I bet. All right. Cubs ML is free. Good.
Cubs ML there.
Try and take the Cubbies today. Today's the day to actually take your boy Steele, please. Dude, I don't like any of these.
What about Seiya Suzuki?
Okay. I mean, I could definitely get down with a Cub. What's the sitch?
Well, he's going up against Elder. Sinker slider is kind of exactly what Seiya wants to see. And, I mean, I think they're scoring runs. And, no, I'm not forcing them to take the goddamn Reds, man.
I'm forcing them to take the guards. Chat, locking the guards in there. I'm out.
Unreal, man. Unreal. So much cake.
Oh, you're showing us to piss him off, huh?
There you go, Goods.
W. Goods, sure. He was in bounds, although they called him out of bounds for some reason. I bet. Trent, glad you got to see that one more time. Bet you were expecting that today, huh?
There we go.
Let's go, Goods. Guards line's moving. Chiote, which way? Which way, Chiote? Let me know.
I would assume it's got to be a no. But I can assume it's also moving because Matt McClain was supposed to be back today. Matt McClain was supposed to be back today, and he hurt himself like warming up today or something, or during like rehab yesterday. So he's not playing anymore. He's done for the year.
Okay. All right. Yeah, are the Reds calling up another prospect who's 12 years old and we haven't heard of, and he's 6'8" and has 7 names, and he's going to suck when he gets up there after a week?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. Although I'll give Encarnacion Strand some credit. He's been carrying. He's good.
CS has been one of the best hitters in the league recently. It's hilarious.
Agreed. Rockies bats 3-0.
3-0.
Old Bow is on the guards. Jesus, Chiote.
Chiote, classic nuke.
All right. I'm down for a little Seiya action. The only problem is he's on the same team as Steele, so we got to put someone else in there too.
Do we want to go to the Rangers-Angels game?
Sure.
Remember when Randall Grishik was up yesterday for hero and RBI? We thought about taking him, kind of left it to the side. Didn't hit. He had one hit. He's up for total bases today.
Huh. Why didn't you just tell me this one in the beginning?
I mean, you got to get through the games, just let you know.
Okay.
But
yeah, I could get behind Fat Randy and taking Grichuk. Sure. 1.5 total bases. And we talked about this the other day. You think that's harder to get than hits, runs, RBIs, right?
Yeah, when guys make the switch to that,
Yeah.
it's pretty significant. But also, he's going up against the lefty and Cody Bradford, which Grishik, the only reason why teams did not claim him or sign him when he got put on waivers is because he can't hit righties. He's just a lefty merchant. So up against Cody Bradford today, no matter, he's probably not going to go 6 innings or anything, but it's a pretty good matchup off the gate or off the bats.
Yeah. Anybody in here enjoy pumpkin seeds? My guy Alan wants to know. Don't leave him hanging. Okay?
Pumpkin seeds, yeah.
You ever have a pumpkin seed?
Yeah, I have. It didn't seem like anything special to me, though.
I think sunflower seeds.
Sunflower seeds washed.
10 times out of 10.
Sunflower seeds washed.
Yeah, come on.
Low-key, Kylie would be a pumpkin seed stand, man. It's crazy.
Put them Johns in the oven, bro.
We're baking pumpkin seeds? That's how we do it?
If I got to cook up those bitches just to make them edible, I think I'm out. I'll crack open a bag of ranch sunflower seeds and go about my day.
Yeah, give me some.
Ooh, Alan's saying Alan might be the Riz God here. This could have been a setup. Maybe he knew that Carly liked pumpkin seeds the whole time.
Alan might know ball. We
might have just set up.
We'll never know, though. We'll never know.
We could have just set up a future couple.
Yeah.
I have to change the name to Match.com.
We'll see.
All right. Chase, what's up, Beast? Finally have some free time. W's. Alan is Chewy's burner confirmed. It could be. That actually could be true.
Right. I would like to double down and say the Rays are not winning the baseball game today.
Really?
Dude, they just dropped their lineup, and holy shit, it's bad. It's bad.
Yeah, but now you're making me want to take them.
No, the line's going to start moving. It's going to reflect it.
It's Chase's birthday? Chase.
Happy Chase.
Happy birthday, Chase. Javon said he would sing you happy birthday himself real quick. Here he goes. Go ahead.
I will respectfully decline that request. But maybe I'll bet on the stars. Bet on the stars. Put him in my NHL go well for Chase.
Chase, happy birthday, bro. You're a
happy
beast.
Birthday,
always love seeing you when I'm down there. You're a beast. You've hooked up the squad with tickets to the games. Friend of the program. Always a friend of mine. W's. All right.
And
Javon, maybe we pair Randy with Seiya and Steele in a little 3-piece god for the people.
I could see that. I wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't mind backing Tanner Houck now, putting something of his in there.
How do you want to take him?
Trying to look and see what he has up. I really wish he had. He doesn't even have strikeouts. So.
Save your time. Goots, go to Tanner Houck, walks allowed. I think we just found a 4-piece, 2 more thans, 2 less thans, and I have a weird feeling in my gut this might hit, folks. Trent, this has you written all over it, bro. If you want me to place this for you, text me.
Jesus, man. I mean, this lineup is moose shit, dude. You want me? This is the lineup. This is the lineup for the Rays today. Jonathan Aranda, Junior Caminero, Isaac Paredes, Josh Lowe, Curtis Mead, Manny Margot, Raimel Tapia, Taylor Walls, Renee Pinto.
You got Pinto being in there in the 9-hole?
Pinto. I mean, the 6 through 9 of Margot, Tapia, Walls, and Pinto which Pinto's actually been kind of Barry Bonds lately. But that's a black hole if I've ever seen one.
Trent, text me, dude, if you actually want me to place it for you. You know I got you. I mean, look, this Rays lineup might be swinging out of their shoes trying to earn a roster spot for next year. They're not going to be sitting there taking pitches. What's that going to do? That's not going to help them make a team next year.
I mean,
Tapia's
been on 6 different teams this year, so I don't think he gives a shit. Aranda's going to be first team Durham Bulls by the end of or the start of next season, so he doesn't give a shit. Taylor Walls is going to be, I don't know, taking DoorDash orders in a couple weeks after this season's over. So, yeah, I mean, they suck.
We should have done a steamed milk segment. Sheesh.
That might be it. Yeah.
Well, if these guys stink and they're going to be dropping off my DoorDash order tomorrow, maybe we take the less than 1.5 walks because they're sure as hell not going to care enough to work any at-bats.
Yeah, I mean, even if they do care enough, I don't know that they'll be able to.
Yep.
It's just
boiled milk. All right.
World.
That could be a 2-piece, less than 2-piece, more than 4-piece gob if they cash us, and we meet you guys at the counter. Goots, we'll go ahead and flash this puppy up.
I don't know what the odds are going to look like if they update kind of after the lineup drops, but just in case it changes and that square is no longer available, I'm probably going to lock that in right now. I'm not going to.
Okay. So lock it in ASAP right now. Hurry up, go, go, go.
Just in case. Just in case.
I'm going to lock it in right now too. Chad, hurry up, go, go, go. Can somebody read it out loud for me? Actually, it's right there. Randy, I don't know why I'm acting like it's going to get taken off in 1 second.
Yeah,
Randy, Steele. So we got Randy more than 1.5 TBs checked. We got Steele less than 2.5 earned runs. We've got Seiya more than 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs. And we got Hoke less than 1.5 walks allowed. Four-piece gob. We'll catch you guys at the counter. I like that 4-piece.
Yeah, I do too.
Chat, you guys get it? 4-piece gob. I'll read it over one more time. Gates go to the top. We've got Randall Grichuk, more than 1.5 TBs. Justin Steele, less than 2.5 earned runs. Seiya Suzuki, more than 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs. Go Cubbies. And Tanner Hoke, less than 1.5 walks allowed.
You see, Randall looks like
Chow.
Does he?
He kind of does a little bit. You think Randy's on day 2 of the same boxers, or you think he's switching them up?
I guarantee you Randall's switching. I hope he is. That's probably bad.
I hope we're not backing a guy who's, you better be switching. Okay.
Yeah. You see,
all right, Chad.
You want to take something guards related. You got Barry Bonds up for half a total base.
Do we? Honestly, flash this real quick, though. We got Shelly's NHL season entry dropping soon, chats. Make sure you guys stay posted. People forget hockey starts up very, very soon. W.
Yes. Yep.
Love it. All right, Javon. You said you want to take someone else. Who'd you want to take?
No, just saying separately because I know you got Hunter Green and you think he's going to pitch terribly. Barry Bonds is up for half total base today for the guards. Cole Calhoun.
Calhoun?
Yeah.
Jesus, dude.
She hasn't been Barry Bonds lately, but for like this past week, he's been incredible.
And then who was the first guy you mentioned before that? I guess it was Hunter Green, right? Because you don't want to take that one.
Oh yeah, I was correlating it to your little look on the guards today.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a little 6-piece as well with the 4-piece we locked in. I'm gonna add these 2 gentlemen in there too. What's the deal with Cole Calhoun?
I mean, whenever it's weird that it's up, but also like whenever they do score runs, he has been what Trent was hoping Jose would be, mucking every single RBI. He's been the run producer. So if you do think they're going to score runs, that's not a bad piece to add to the puzzle there.
Okay. Well, I just added it. Consider it added.
Yeah.
Thoughts. All right. What's the best NBA capper in BTL and book it? Oh, God.
Definitely not us.
No, honestly, though, my NBA bets are pretty good. I just don't send that many, and I really hate watching it and betting it. Obviously, we're college basketball guys here. I mean, am I really about to say that it's Trent?
And honestly, I mean, he's really the only one who does it, so it might be
Trent
him
is our NBA guy.
by default.
Trent is our NBA guy. All right. And yes, applications. If you guys want to come on Surge Train, if you know ball, maybe we'll get some of you guys on there to pitch an NBA kick once the season starts. Okay. Krabs is addicted to college basketball. Pega, it's my favorite fucking sport to bet on and watch, dude. I don't even know why I love it so much, but it's everything. Yeah. And yes, Hoke less than walks. T cards. All right. Javon, I think it's about that time, brother. We crafted up an entry. We went over college football rankings. We did the recaps. I screamed at the camera for 5 minutes about A.J. Brown not scoring a touchdown. You bitched about the Rays. We got our best bets below here. I think it's time we go ahead and craft up another squad ride for the people. Why not us?
Why not?
Why not us? What do we like today? And more than down to put in, squares or player props if needed. And we can start with some book plays, but we want to put in Guardians ML?
Sure.
No way you just said that.
I'm a man of the people. If they like your pitch and they like the guards, they can vote for it. I think the Reds are dead, so it's not like my life is going to be over.
It's not like you think the Reds are going to win today, do you? Yeah, can you at least say that?
I do not think the Reds are going to win, but I just don't think the line is weird. Okay, that's my stance.
We're putting them in. We'll let the chat decide. W Democracy. Yeah. W Javon. Cubs ML?
Sure.
Thanks. And what else you got? Those are my two favorite plays on the diamond by fall.
Probably Nats first 5 under and Yankees over.
Is that Nats first 5 guys under? Is it at 4 now, though? And I'm still down to take it, and I'm pulling it up. I got you.
It is at 4 now, pretty much everywhere. Yeah.
Okay.
We'll put the Yankees over in there, then.
You want to put Yankees over in there instead?
Yeah. Leave it with that.
Okay. Over 7 or 7.5?
7.
Yeah, 7. Okay. Dubs. Halk removed. Chad, I hope you guys got that square in. Javon, you're a fucking wizard, bro. You're a fucking wizard.
It was just a moose lineup they dropped. I mean, it's probably going to move.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Interested to see if they dropped or adjusted lines on the book for that yet.
Yeah, take a peep at that. I'll come through what other plays we have.
Oh, it'll probably come back on.
Okay.
It's even both ways still.
You want to take the Mariners?
Mariners?
Yes. And then, honestly, dude, can we take the Nats team total under in here?
Sure.
Is that something you can get behind?
What is it, though? What is it?
Yeah.
So do you think I think they get a stray bang off of Bradish.
Let me pull it up.
See, it's 2.5, though. That scares me.
I see a 3. Yeah, but it's mainly 2.5. You're right. Okay. Mm-hmm. Do we want to put a square in there? We could also just roll with these 4 plays.
Yeah, I'm down the road with those 4 plays.
Javon, you're playing Wii Hoopin' this week in fantasy. Trent needs a lock. Red Sox line moving hella. Sure. Yeah, Braves over, I wouldn't mind throwing in there too. I know we have the Braves in there too, but I wouldn't mind putting that in there as well. Letting the people vote.
Yeah, I'm down for that.
You good with that? All right.
Yeah.
5 plays, 5 winners, folks. Let me add this last one in here. Over 9.5. Might be 9.
9. Let's see who we got this week against We Hoop and Trent.
All right, chat. 5 plays, 5 winners. We've got Cleveland ML, the Cubbies ML, Yankees Toronto over 7, Seattle ML, and we've got Chicago and Atlanta over 9. Hurry up, get your votes in. Go, 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 go. Hurry up. There's no time. You guys got like 3 minutes, okay? Get your votes in. Hurry up. Honestly, guys, I want to see 100 votes. Haven't gotten 100 votes for a winner so far this week. Have had plenty of people in here, a ton of sub bangs. It would make my day if we get 100 votes in the poll for the winner. Would love to see triple ditch. I cannot see the poll. If you can't see the poll, refresh your page. It should be in the Twitch chat. And if you're not watching on Twitch, come over to Book It Sports on Twitch. That's where you vote for the poll. All right, folks. Get your votes in. Hurry up. Go, 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 go. Hurry up. Get your votes in. Javon, what does the matchup look like?
Well, he has some tough ones. I'm not going to lie. I have a little bit of hope here. I will say I am a little concerned of whether I'm going to start Jared Goff or Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson against the Ravens might be a little tough. Derrick Henry against the Bengals might be a little tough. Their run defense has not been atrocious. So I don't know. I don't know if I have a pulse. Skill positions outside of that are pretty solid, though. Sam Laporta's going to grub.
Okay.
Mark Cooper might grub, too. We'll see how Watson plays. But
sure. I'm with it. Browns and Bears, money line on there? No, there's a sport called baseball, and they have the same abbreviation, so that would be the place.
Browns and Bears ML.
Tajay Spears is kind of Himothy. Yes, Cash. Sure. Joe Burrow has been annoying. He's hurt, and they always start out slow. Just relax. But I also have Burrow in, I think, our Book It League, actually. I'm probably going to bench his ass. But he will be fine. He'll be carrying us in the second half, folks. Don't do anything stupid and drop him. All right? Get your votes in. Hurry up. Go, go, go. Get them in. 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 And yes, if you somehow have Arcane available, okay. Josh looked me dead in the eyes last night and said, "There's on it." I mean, I lost it last night on Spots. I read that, bro. Josh said, "No, I fucking didn't, dude."
Fred is out here just making shit up on the island, man.
He might just be making shit up on the island. He's far away.
Crazy.
He's got no responsibilities. He's just saying shit. Chat, check out the We'll Be Seeing pod, please. Okay? Fire. They've been killing it down there with the pod. Go check it out. They even brought Big Dave on there, talking some college football futures. Sure. Go check out what Big Dave's got to say. Go check out the We'll Be Seeing pods on the We'll Be Seeing YouTube. Okay, folks? And get your squad ride votes in. Hurry up. You got about 1 minute. I am shocked that the Cubs and the Braves over is winning this poll, but you know what? That's okay. Because chat picks winners more often than not. We can't doubt it. We can't doubt it. Okay? We got to trust. But chat, that's not what I'd be voting for. Be honest with you. Do I think it hits? Sure. I do. Do I think there's 4 other better bets on there? Yeah, I do. There's 84% handle on that over. Sharps are relatively split, though. 69% of bets. Nice. So bigger bets on the over. And I do think, gun to my head, it's going to hit. But I definitely would rather take the Cubbies in that game. But we'll let the votes decide. You guys pick the winners. As always, click the right buttons. We need it. W squad ride last night with the Eagles ML and the under teased to 50. Love that, boys. Great play. Javon, pretty solid day yesterday.
Pretty
solid
day.
Yeah, would have been an elite day if your guy Mike Evans didn't have the greatest catch of the season.
Yeah, that would have been incredible. Incredible if he just
It is what it is.
hung him off after that, or I guess before that drive. We just grubbed.
Yeah, 100%.
People forget, too. We're talking about Justin Fields. He's on pace to go over his yards.
Yeah, you guys need to chill out. They might suck, but he's on pace.
Yeah, he's over by more than, Watson's over.
Yep. 1,000%. Trent putting Justin Fields in the goat whale was a shit wager. That's exactly what Trent needs to hear today. Yes. 2 words, yes. He's soaring. Sure. Say Huck, Gritchick, and who? Somebody didn't take notes and lock it in. Say Steele, less than 2.5 earned runs. In chat, looks like we're going with the over and completely canceling out that square that I like and taking more runs in Atlanta tonight with the squad ride. But you know what? Could be a hedge. They could both hit. I don't know. But we'll see how this one plays out, Javon. Over 9 in Chicago and Atlanta. That is the squad rides. Chat, I do love the Cubbies today, though. Javon, what's your favorite play on the board today?
the over in the Yankees game.
W's. Chats. I'm no doctor, but if you took Cubs ML, the over in the Yanks game, and the squad rides, my favorite play, Javon's favorite play, the squad rides, you'll probably go 2-1 and go about your day, folks. That's not a bad recipe for success on a day with only baseball where you're trying to figure out how to get your itch, okay? You know we're coming with a bazillion plays on football days, but right now, that could be the three-piece that gets us through the night.
Could be. Could be. I like that.
W's. Chat, W up today. Really appreciate it. We need Trent back like we need Air. He comes back later this week. But happy to run this during his time slot. Hope this worked out well for you guys. We're going to keep moving and grooving, coming on here every day, giving you guys winners, working our asses off to turn the balances from red to green. That's what we do, and we do it all for free, and we do it all for Lembach. Plain and simple, folks. W day today, WBTL Javon. Love the energy, love the focus, and we'll catch you guys tomorrow. Same time, same place. We'll be soon.
We will.
Peace, folks.